Nowadays, video games kinda suck. To be honest, I'm not the most suitable person to talk about it because I don't have much knowledge of the industry and why some decisions are taken and some are not. But we're gonna skip that and think about money.
Come on, get that money, money, money.
It's not a secret. The world revolves around the money. And what those corpos want out of anything else? You guessed it, money. And they will do anything they have to get more money. If we take a look at the recent events of gaming, everything points towards making more money. It all started in the 2000s. Back then, things were a lot different than nowadays. Xbox still had good reputation, Sony was losing money with each console they sold, and Nintendo started to play on its own league with the Wii. Then, in 2006, Bethesda realized something. Hey, we can get more money from these idiots! And decided to release the first DLC of history, The Armor for Horses. The success of this DLC explains the rest of the history of video games. After that, all video games have some sort of DLC. Some of them are bad, like fighting games, putting characters behind a paywall. And some of them are great. For example, the one I'm playing right now, Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk. The thing is, most video games companies try to get more money from players for more than just the regular game. They will create any stupid thing that is unnecessary to maximize their profit. Recently, economy started to crash for the 94 time of modern era, and that of course affected video games. I'm pretty sure this is the first console generation where the prices of consoles went up and not down. And why did that happen? You guessed it again. Money. If the prices of the components of the consoles go up, then corpos are gonna make us pay for them. They make decisions based on money. That's all that counts. Even if that means ending many things. Even the ones we bought. For example, the movies that you paid for on a certain platform, or even worse, physical media as a whole. If you live under a rock, I'm gonna update you. Basically, Sony is gonna kill physical media. That's right. From 2028 upwards, no more discs for you kiddos. They're too expensive, and we cannot afford them. We're a multi-billionaire company that produces failures of video games like Conquer and Marathon, losing tens of millions of dollars with each of these projects that are trying to be the new Fortnite. But hey, discs are way too expensive. Now, I won't sit here and pretend that I'm not part of the problem because I'm definitely am. Currently, I only have a Master Race PC, which I love more than myself, and a dusty Xbox One that in the last 12 months I have touched the same amount of the woman that I have touched in my entire life. That's right, zero. And even when I use the Xbox, I only play video games which were purchased digitally. Like myself, most gamers nowadays purchase video games digitally, and it's a no-brainer why that happens. It's more convenient to just go to the Steam store and look for the video game that you want, which, in many occasions of the years, is gonna be on sale. Yes, that's another thing that we have to talk about. Sales. Some of them make video games more than twice cheaper.
Amen, amen.
So, why would you take your car, go to the store, walk your fat butt to the store, to purchase a game that's gonna be full price and then go home with your game to install it since video games are not complete in the disk and need to install updates since days one? Well, because the game is yours, right? Right? These days, video games don't belong to anyone more than the people who run companies, meaning old farts who care the same about video games that I care about the piece of paper I threw on the bin this morning. Video games are more than just a hobby nowadays. They are a form of art, and well, they create jobs, which takes me to the second point. What the hell is happening with the layoffs? These last few weeks, Xbox announced that they're gonna fire more than 3,000 people, and that is a lot of people. And whose fault it is? Well, it's a complicated answer. There are many factors. Xbox. It's Xbox's fault. That's it. That's the answer. Remember when in 2018 Phil Spencer started to buy many video game studios like Ninja Theory, Composer Games, and Obsidian? Remember what we thought about it? It's not gonna be a big deal. Also, they said they were gonna let the studios work on their own pace, so no worries. Well, guess what? That was a lie. Then they bought Cinemax Media and told everyone the same thing as before. We are not gonna intervene in the creative process. They can do whatever they want. Of course, this is gonna be the best purchase in the history of video games. Nothing bad can happen. Well, that was unfortunate. Hmm, things are not going well. I don't even want to imagine what's going through the minds of people who lost their job this last week. Nowadays, jobs are not easy to find, and then these corpos you'll decide that yours is not profitable enough. I remember quite vividly that when I was a kid, going to the store and buying video games were the peak moments of my entire year. Going home and bumping in the box in which they came from, putting on the disc on my 360 and launching the game were a ritual that now is gonna be impossible for the newer generations. Well, I don't care for them, but I care about my video games collection in the future. You know Tony Soprano? Well, I see myself in him. I gotta be an adult when the industry is collapsing. Well, not only the video game industry, everything is falling apart nowadays. Nowadays, everything is trash, or seems to be. Going back to the subject, the industry is falling apart, and there's not much we can do other than not buy games from Sony so that they can get hit where it hurts more. But that ain't gonna happen. Because right now, we gamers have become consumers that are willing to spend money on companies that clearly hate us. Nothing is gonna change unless we actually try to do something about it. But we already had the chance and didn't do anything. Sonic stock prices went up after the announcement. Maybe that's not our fault, but it does clearly show a lack of true protest from our part. At this point, I don't have hopes for the future of this hobby. Right now, all I want to do is lay down and play some games, like the rest of you.